there is much light here. In the warmer months, it is all light. We have been in the dark night, and we are now coming into the light, just as humanity is coming into the realization of who they are. Do not fear the discoveries that are to be relayed. It should be a great relief to humanity to know that they are not alone in the universe, that they are not the most advanced, and that they do not have all the answers. Humanity will be required to accept this. When one is humble, they are ripe for learning. It is time to open up to more learning of past truths that you will remember. It is time to remember. Remember, ice and dark are all about perception. The darkness cannot exist in the presence of the light. I am showing this one ice cave-in how vital the battery packs of the flashlights are, and how dark it is without the light, and how stunningly beautiful it is when the light glistens on the crystals. There are wonders in ice that are beyond words. Wonders and beauties abound in my realm. There is much to be discovered and discussed among the people. But as you already know, over the centuries, it was religion that distorted true spiritual knowledge in order to subjugate the consciousness of people and hide from them the limitless divine potential of man, given to him from birth. And how you see what a difference there is between fanatically religious people and no matter what religious denomination they belong to, and those who simply live according to their consciousness, guided in their lives by the laws of the universe, which are eternal and not subject to distortion. Some follow these laws intuitively, which is typical of very ancient souls who have incarnated many times on earth, while others deliberately make efforts to monitor their thoughts and actions, comparing them with the laws of the universe and being aware of the consequences of their violation. An observant person who knows how to soberly and actively evaluate himself will definitely see the cause and effect chains of all events in his life and draw certain conclusions so as not to repeat his mistakes. Slow down and create space for your healing process. De-stress your life as much as possible going forward, at least until we get past the eclipses. Know that healing from your trauma is an act of courage. It takes emotional and mental courage to move through the blocks in healing trauma, such as denial, confusion, fear, blame, shame, and acting out. Have compassion for yourself and others right now. We are at the deepest apex of our trauma wounding. Participate in activities that are healing, grounding, and nurturing for you. It is common when facing trauma or difficult experiences to feel overwhelmed or have bad thoughts and feelings. What is the point? Who cares about me anyway? There is no point going on or even being here. Get help if needed. Shift your spiritual lens. Instead, look at it like you are in an initiatory process. You are being called to discover the unknown resources of power within you. Rely on your health and wellness support team. Create boundaries when needed. Only share with those you trust. Perhaps have someone who will watch you back as your process unfolds, but with those right now who feel safe to you. I transmute with my presence. I breathe light and love into the crystals of ice and earth, the wind, the rain, the storms are filled with source light. This balances Gaia and keeps her poles more stable. They have been wobbling. There is a planetary instability currently, for she is undergoing the shift. You know this as you feel it. The sun is naturally bright, just as it is prior to a massive emission, and all things are lining up, source-driven, creation-driven, love-driven. Children, be at peace. The world is topsy-turvy, and will continue to be this way for a time, but not for all time. Never for all time. There is always hope. You are never alone. The whales that swim in my icy waters travel in pods. You need to find your people, your pods. Find your pods, beloved ones of the deep that are bringing light to the dark places. It is time for the ground crew to find each other. When you shine your lights, others will see it and will find you more easily. But what happens to believers who try to live according to God's commandments? For many of them, this comes not from the heart, but from the mind, from fear of punishment, as well as form the habit of submitting to someone else's will and following all the instructions of religious spiritual mentors. Of course, among them there are many bright blades, and yet religious dogma bends a person's hand and foot, not allowing him to fully reveal his divine potential, to realize that he is true part of the Creator and not a slave of God. But recently, many ancient and pure souls are beginning to gradually move away from dogmatic official religions, feeling their limitations, and to look for an alternative to them in esoteric knowledge, which is now necessary for men like air.